Thanks for joining us tonight here on Arc Salt Lake. I'm Brian Schnee. Wednesday evening on March 19th. Tonight, taking a look at avalanche and snow dangers, including a deadly incident involving a snowboarder today. A little bit later, we'll take a look at what's next for a pair of astronauts back on Earth after being stranded in space for months. But first, Utah firefighters answering the call for help in other states. Right now, Utah has wildland crews in Texas and Kansas. Today, I spoke with Corey Auger, a fire warden for Uintah and Daggett counties with the Division of Forestry, Fire and State Lands. He is with a crew in Kansas assisting with wildfires in the area.
We've been here for a few days, and so far we've just been standing by. We hurry up and wait type of deal, but we are ready, when needed. So haven't seen any fire yet.
What are the conditions like right now, and are you expecting to see any fire given those conditions?
Well, leading up to today, we had red flag warnings throughout Kansas with gusts of 60 miles an hour. Luckily, there was no fires in Kansas. They seem to all be hitting down south in Oklahoma, Texas, where they've really been hitting hard. Currently, though, we're under a winter weather watch here right now, but the meteorologist with the Kansas Forest Service says this is going to be short go. By tomorrow, we'll be back up into the 60s, and then we'll be at critical level for fire again. It is way different. As everybody knows, it's really flat out here. Their fires out here tend to be wind driven, with the high winds that they've been getting. Whereas back home, we've got a mix of things back home. We get the wind as well, but we also have the topography that drives fires back there. But everything out here is mostly wind driven. We get great experience when we're coming out here. Different fuel models, a lot of taller grasses out here. Like I just said, different topography we get to work around. We're trained to fight fire in just about any kind of condition, but that doesn't necessarily mean we've actually had the experience in that. So getting out here, growing that experience for all 7 engines and the other task force trainee that's out here is great. It's a great value.
What's the reception like from the general public when you go out on these deployments? I mean, they see Utah on the truck, or they see the different agencies and such. What's that like? What do the general public say to you? Ask you to roll down the window, that sort of thing.
We get some stares. When you see a convoy of 7 engines rolling through a small town in Kansas, we get stares. They stop and turn their head, but the reception has been great. When we go in the hotels that we're staying at or the places that we go and eat, people are always thanking us for being here and to helping and stuff like that. Some of the crews here from in our task force have even gone and chatted with the local fire departments to trying to get some intel there, and working that relationship. And it's been great. We're just going to continue to do what we're asked out here. And if the time ever comes, maybe, Kansas will return the favor and send some folks out to help us in Utah. So that's kind of why we do this.
Turning now to weather, the valleys showing everything still covered in snow from our storm yesterday. Just some beautiful shots of the Salt Lake Valley there and behind me here. It's the place to be. You can still walk around the walking paths there. Go check out the aviary. Meteorologist Sean Kelly has our first alert forecast and a very vibrant snowpack map there behind you, Sean. It's a good sign, what we're seeing for part of the state at least.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. In fact, we had the biggest storm this season so far for the Salt Lake City Valley. Wasn't much, but we did see over ½ a foot in many areas here across the valley floors. A lot of melting going on today. Will continue to melt out tomorrow, and the majority of the snow across the valleys will be gone. But the mountains, the snowpack is very healthy. Look at this. We are above normal here, 111 to 121%, even improving conditions down towards the south, but we still need some rain and snow down there right now. We had temperatures today that were pretty chilly, but warming up quite a bit, and we're into the lower 40s, 58 for high in St. George. You'll see we saw plenty of sunshine, clear conditions. We're at 43 degrees right now. Light winds, finally dealing with light conditions there. Now coming up, we will continue our warming trend as we close out the week and head into the weekend. We're tracking 2-week storms. The first one weaker than the second. The second one could bring us additional snow up into the mountains, and we're talking about some 70s, Brian, in the forecast. So next week is a ski in the morning, perhaps golf in the afternoon type of weather. We'll have that for you coming up.
All right, Sean, thank you. Like where your head's at with that. Today, a snowboarder He died after buried in snow. This was at Park City Mountain Resort. A family member and ski patrol helped to find and dig that snowboarder out. He was taken to the on-site medic. Authorities say the 55-year-old man was visiting from out of state, died at the scene there. And the circumstances of his burial are unclear. There have been no signs or reports of avalanches in this specific area in the Canyons Village side of PCMR. An active investigation, and as we learn more, we will share it. This is the latest incident illustrating the potential dangers in the snow right now. Last night, Little Cottonwood Canyon was rocked by a natural avalanche. Viewers sending us this video after being caught in the slide, a naturally slide there across the road near the Entry 4 area, just past that in the Hellgate section there, past Snowbird. The canyon closed. Cars were stuck for hours. Here's that man just seconds after the snow locked him in.
I can't believe
Dude, we just got hit by an avalanche. Look at that. Got pushed us and pushed those cars up and out.
all the way from the other side.
Dude, that is gnarly. Holy insane. I can't even open my car door.
How deep is that on your side?
Holy dude. It's up to here.
Yeah.
It's all the way up to the door.
Behind that.
Well, I mean, I think the bleeps are probably warranted in that situation. You're lucky that it didn't go haywire for those individuals that were kind of caught in that slide. No injuries. But you can see the raw emotion there as the viewer and his friend explain their experience.
Trying to drive out of here after an epic day in the powder.
Yep.
We get hit by an avalanche. I'm sitting in the passenger seat. All of a sudden, I flinch because we just get hit by snow.
Something, yeah.
We can't see anything.
Nothing.
And our windshield, nothing on my side. I roll down the window. The snow's all the way up to the window right there.
Yeah.
And the Jeep in front of us is pushed probably, what, 20 feet that way?
Yeah.
And
Let's take a look at that.
them is turned all
There's
the
our
way
truck. Just buried on this side. Got the Jeep way up here. Crazy. We haven't even left like close to the resort.
Well, I mean, I appreciate them just throwing some videos out there on social so we could see what they experienced firsthand. So with the upwards of 30 inches of snowfall in parts of Little Cottonwood, the slide was well stocked. We wanted to know more about the difference between natural and triggered avalanches. For that, we spoke with avalanche forecaster Drew Hardesty to learn more about what happened.
I mean, this is just your classic Central Wasatch blockbuster of a storm. 20 to 30 inches of new snow in the last 18 hours. I mean, combined with moderate to strong west and northwest winds. I mean, it's you don't have to be a snow scientist, rocket scientist, weatherman. I mean, you're going to have avalanches. The danger is considerable today. Plenty of avalanches that were both human triggered in the backcountry, as well as triggered by the ski area control teams, and then also from the DOT teams as well.
Well, reminder, considerable means still considerable danger. And this is the time when a lot of people go out and trigger slides, many of them deadly, during days where the avalanche conditions are considerable. So I like to ski. My wife likes to ski. Teaching my daughter how to ski. Those dangers are relevant to really all ages and experience levels, especially those who go out in the backcountry. We asked what recreational skiers and riders can expect for the remainder of the season.
Avalanche conditions are going to remain elevated. I mean, by this time, most years, skiers and riders in the country expect fairly benign conditions in the backcountry, but we have some very savvy backcountry recreationists. They tune in. They pay attention to what the avalanche danger is every morning. You know, at our website, utahavalanchecenter.org, they know the conditions. They know how much snow. They know how much wind. And they know which terrain to avoid, you know, to try to stay safe in the backcountry to get home to their families at the end of the day.
And that's the big goal here, right? Know what you're up against and hit those low angle slopes, especially when you get packed on top of that unstable layer. The Utah Avalanche Center, local ski patrols, the rest of those crews, including UDOT, they really do a great job. Takes a lot of work to make sure avalanche mitigation goes off without a hitch. But it's important to be self-informed. Drew gave us some final advice that you can take with you if you decide to venture out in the backcountry.
You know, in the backcountry, it's a whole different beast. You know, you have to be your own avalanche forecaster, and it's important to be armed with a weapon of knowledge, and that's what the current conditions are. The bottom line is that we employ the best of the best As always, Mother Nature has the final say, has the bottom line. And we're going to see how this thing plays out and hope for the best.
Another avalanche triggered in central Utah yesterday, this one burying a snowmobiler, according to the observation report submitted to UAC. This happened in the Scout Cabin Hill area, Fish Lake, for those of you in the area, just east of Richfield. The snowmobiler triggered the avalanche, was fully buried. UAC report says his partners found him because he had a few fingers actually sticking out of the snow. Fortunate you're able to get that clue. They were able to dig him out. Report indicating he was blue, but otherwise okay. Coming up on Arc Salt Lake, 2 astronauts returning to Earth yesterday after an unexpected 9 months in space. Why their journey to normalcy far from over at this point. New video tonight showing the celebration happening in a NASA astronaut's ancestral village. Suni Williams' father migrated from the village in India in the 1950s, and now people living there are celebrating her safe arrival back on Earth. One teacher even called her the princess of space. Williams, along with Butch Wilmore, were stuck in space for 9 months aboard the International Space Station. Karen Hua reports from Houston, where both astronauts are undergoing medical tests before heading home.
Splashdown, Crew 9 back on Earth.
Astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sunny Williams may be back on Earth, but their mission to regain normalcy has just begun. This video shows the pair landing at Ellington Field in Houston just before midnight aboard NASA 5.
We'll celebrate for a while how really resilient Butch and Sunny were the whole time.
Some happy waves, smiles all around.
The SpaceX Dragon carrying Wilmore and Williams splashed down off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida Tuesday evening, greeted by a pod of dolphins.
Oh, dolphin cam back again.
Ignition. The two astronauts launched on the first human test flight of the Boeing Starliner in June of last year. But the vessel developed propulsion problems and, for safety reasons, returned to Earth without them, stretching their planned 8-day mission to 9 months. Wilmore and Williams are expected to spend a day or two here at the Johnson Space Center as medical staff evaluate them to make sure they're readjusting to the pull of gravity back here on Earth.
You try not to stand up too much. You're just trying to get the whole head on shoulders thing figured out.
Dr. Tom Marshburn, chief astronaut for Sierra Space, has done 3 tours on the ISS. He says their next challenge will be both physical and mental.
Physically, if you're an athlete, and all of them are athletes, then 3 months probably before they feel like they're back in shape. Mentally, they just need rest. Even just the gravity thing is exhausting.
During their extended mission, Williams and Wilmore conducted more than 150 experiments. While NASA is celebrating their return, no one could be happier than their families, eager to see them on the ground. Karen Hua, CBS News, Houston.
NASA officials say the experiments they conducted included using stem cell technology to potentially address blood diseases, autoimmune disorders, and cancers. Homelessness can happen to anyone at any time. That's why Sinclair and the Salvation Army are joining forces for Sinclair Cares, From Homeless to Hope. This nationwide initiative is dedicated to raising awareness about homelessness and highlighting the life-changing services that provide hope and stability. If you'd like to volunteer or make a donation to help those families in need, you can go to sinclaircares.com. Well, here we are, Sean.
Here we are.
Kind of before the next big shift, long term, looking ahead in our forecast. Nice to get the snow.
Right.
Maybe a little bit more on the way, but at the end of the day, I think a lot of people just have their eyes on that 7 or 7+2 where you've got 70s in the mix.
Yeah, the warming trend begins already today, starting to see that, but yeah, 70s for next week. And it's certainly good news that our snowpack here is above normal now thanks to our recent storms. So we're in really good shape, but yeah, we're going to start to see a lot of this melt away. But again, currently sitting at 104%. Even across the valleys, finally playing catch up. We've actually now seen above normal snowfall for Salt Lake City for the month. 6.7 inches so far for the month. But as a whole for the season, it is pretty measly here. 4th least snowy season on record, 18.1 inches so far, missing 33 inches of snow. So hoping for at least maybe 1 or 2 more storms before we're all said and done. Not going to see it though in the next 7 to 10 days. We're into the 40s right now, so it's chilly. Clear skies and temperatures much better than yesterday at this time. 8 to 10 degrees warmer from 24 hours ago, but pretty chilly in Heber at 35, 29 in Park City, 39 in Manti, 43 in Cedar City. The winds also finally getting a break here and some relief as things have calmed down quite a bit. If you're doing any traveling here overnight, if you're catching a flight and heading out towards the Midwest, you could encounter some delays as the Chicago area down into portions of the Midwest going to be dealing with the threat of some large hail damaging winds and even tornadoes. And then on the back side of the system, cold air rushes in. They're going to see a blanket of snow. Meanwhile, the West Coast, Pacific Northwest dealing with some scattered snow showers or some rain showers. Here at home, we are dealing with quiet conditions, but getting ready for cloudier skies tomorrow. A few scattered snow showers up towards the north and into our mountains. Not a big event. Coating to an inch at best for the mountains. And then Friday, another cloudy day as we warm things up. Friday night and into Saturday, here comes our next storm. This one could bring some accumulating snow into the mountains and then just some isolated showers here across the valley floors. In terms of snowfall amounts, a coating to an inch for storm number 1, and then storm number 2 as we make our way into the weekend could see maybe 4 to 8 inches of snow. So that'll be nice to see. The lows tonight, we're getting that freezing to the 20s for much of the area. So everything that melts will likely refreeze quite a bit. So just watch out for some icy spots early tomorrow morning. And then again, we'll see cloudy skies tomorrow. But we start our warm up as we're getting back up into the upper 40s for highs. And then in the St. George area, we go from the 60s to 70s, 76 by Sunday. Look at this stretch of 80s for next week. St. George, you've got beautiful weather here heading your way. Again, the first official full day of spring tomorrow. Along the Wasatch Front, we go from the 40s to the 50s as well. We'll be watching out for those showers on Saturday. So Saturday, not the prettiest day. Sunday will be the day to be outside for the weekend. Maybe getting some yard work done. Heading into next week, though, some 70s there to look forward to. 73 Wednesday, 74 on Thursday.
Not to be this guy, but I noticed it once was 78.
Yeah,
we scaled it back a little bit.
That was wishful thinking. That's
you know, and I know it's
go.
long term. I'm not here to poke at you. I was just saying it was closer to 80 almost. I was thinking we might teeter that direction.
I think, you know, further down towards the central and southern part of the state would be a possibility, especially St. George. But I mean, this is going to do a lot of melting snow melt, but hopefully that Saturday storm kind of re-ups on that snow up into the mountains. Going to be another great next few days to go skiing heading into the weekend as well.
Real wake-up call for our friends in St. George, too. It's going to get hot real quick.
Oh, yeah. Pool weather.
Thank you, Sean. Coming up on Arc Salt Lake, snow sports were stalled this morning at a local ski resort, and the discounts this delivery truck got for everyone. A delivery driver heading to Cherry Peak Resort beat the plow driver this morning. The outcome was a little messy. Thankfully, everyone's okay. Staff was waiting nearby to try to get the resort open as soon as that truck was moved off the access road.
The resort offered 25% off their day passes due to the late open. Sometimes it does not pay to be early.
Yeah, absolutely. You could have sat in traffic there at Little Cottonwood Canyon for most of the morning.
Yeah.
By the way, shout out Cherry Peak. We don't talk about Cherry Peak enough. They do have nice web cameras. They don't get as much snow up there in Richmond, but one of our Utah resorts here. Great job done up there all times of year. So I just wanted to say, Cherry Peak, Sean, doesn't just do the winter stuff, but they've got cool summer concert series.
Okay,
Something we might have to head up there for.
Right around the corner.
Thanks for watching tonight. We're back tomorrow on KJazz at 7 o'clock. See you.